Hey everyone, I'm back with an updated video on well, the Deacon Walk, Deccan Walk. I think the last video I did show the first Decan of Aries. I think I stopped after my reading. That was the last thing. I didn't do too much for that one anymore. I did wrote down some different perspectives on the second, on the Two of Wands from different decks that well were interesting to me. And then I actually went in the second Decan of Aries, which was the Sun in Aries. In my book itself, because well, I already put Aries here, you know, also the Aries energy in the Emperor, yeah. So in this one, and the Sun and the Cardinal mode, right? So I really focused on the new things, because at the end of the day, this is all, you know, Aries. So I did put the date, the Egyptian god change, so I put that there. Still don't know what I want to do with that, but for now I'm gonna leave it in there. So the tarot card for Aries is still the Emperor. The major now changed because, well, the Sun in Aries was the second decan, so that became also the Sun card, and then the card would have been the Three of Wands with the keyword virtue. So I did write about the Sun, of course, the energies coming from that. Then I also went into the Sun card, and of course the Three of Wands itself. Which again was a very fun exercise, of course. We're going a little bit deeper. And in all honesty, when I look at the Sun energy, I'm really trying to do that from the astrological point. I know that a lot of us are trying to really approach these decans related to tarot, which is interesting, but I'm really after gaining a little bit more knowledge of astrology to begin with. So I'm going for the cards, but in all honesty, I want to see how that will relate, you know, and more focusing again on the astrology side of things. But that's just me. I'm sorry for my voice and my sniffles. Sorry, I'm gonna try to maybe edit them out. I don't know if it's a cold or some allergies, because well, spring is here. But yes, so yeah, I did that. I then again did the tarot reading. In all honesty, I did again make my own reading. And that had a little bit to do with how I think the Sun, it was, yeah, was really coming forward. It talked about freedom, and yeah, it said something. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Yeah, it really had some about blooming again, right? Where Mars was in Aries, we talked about that drive, that beginning, right? There was no plan yet in that sense. It was just a lot of energy. How it also was described, even the Aries sign, it's the ram, but at the same time you can see it as a fountain bursting energy, right? And sometimes when we're like full of that energy, there is no focus yet. And I felt, because we were now in the Sun, which really relates to, well, us as being, as me, you know, it talked about really focusing on that blooming, right? On that freedom. So I tried to tap into that, you know. I did take all my cards out so I could maybe show visually the reading. So I did an oracle and tarot for both questions. Sorry. So my first question was, because I was really focusing on that freedom, yeah, where in myself, right? Is that freedom missing? And I pulled moderation, and okay, I didn't put them on in order. Okay, I pulled moderation and the Two of Cups. Yeah, and I really like that because I know, don't get me wrong, I love moderation in myself, yeah, because me too, I can be a burst of energy sometimes, but I need to moderate that to really have that stability almost, right? However, sometimes I want to moderate myself when it's not necessary, yeah. It's okay to show energy. It's okay to burst with energy. Where in other parts of your life, whether that's emotions or your mindset, you know, sometimes you need to ground and be more moderate. Other times, yeah, you need to go for it, right? You need to have that energy. And sometimes I feel I stop myself from doing that. So this really was, it was hitting home, right? The Two of Cups, I understood it because I know right away it's about love, yeah, but for me, twos are also about that duality, that polarity, right? That pulling off either way. It's a choice. So I really felt this question answered in this way. So this whole reading was a beautiful reading, but it started off strong, you know? For the second one, yeah. I went back a little bit on my answer here because I wrote it down as that I'm bounding myself sometimes in a way, right? It's like this pretty prison almost I'm making for myself. So I needed to have more freedom, yeah, in how I choose this. So my second question was in relation a little bit to this. So how can I break down these walls and share a deep emotional connection? Because we talked about the two, yeah. So I went to the emotional aspect of it because I know that my thoughts and my emotions sometimes, well, this is the fight, right? This is the duality, polarity. Anyway, so I focused on one thing, and I got, let me see, yeah, this one, I got hope, yeah. And I got the Chariot, which I thought was again a really beautiful combination. Let me see, I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was a really beautiful combination. Again, you know, it's not something I need to force. Yeah, just be hopeful. It's not like hope and don't work at it, right? It's still a movement, yeah, I need to make, yeah. But this I'm gonna do with moderation because even though, again, there are parts of me that need to fight it, I can also tap into that, right? When we're talking about hope. Anyway, this was the second one. So that was a beautiful one too. And then the third question was, because we talked about sunlight in the sun, or me, I was writing about it, you know, that it was starting to that sunlight in the sun in Aries was about making things bloom again, right? So I asked the question then, where inside of me needs sunlight to shine for me to start blooming again, you know? That new growth, right? That's well, kicking butt. And I pulled curiosity and the Emperor, you know? And at one point I was like, they're a little bit opposites, yes. So because if you're curious, you're maybe not really like too strict, you're more free, right? But I found it might be a balance, right? I need to have that curiosity again in certain areas of my life, yeah. And I might be too much in trying to control it, yeah, to keep it all nice and tight, yeah, which is not working in my favor at the moment, yeah. So that too was an interesting answer. And of course, I'm in all honesty, I'm giving like a small thing of what the reading was, but here. And then I was asked, then I asked, where do I desire harmony? You know, because again, when I read about the sun and that freedom and all of that, there was a part about, yeah, finding that harmony, you know, between that Aries energy, yeah, and that Sun energy, because both are considered to be of the self, yeah. At the same time, yeah, I feel like in Aries there's a little bit more harshness, almost, if I say that like that. um Anyway, that was the question. I first pulled introspection, and then I pulled the Hermit, which made me smile. A little heart smile, like laugh, you know, like, yep, rub it in. Like, for me, the Hermit is all about introspection. So it was like having two of the same cards almost, right? But yeah, it's really inside of me that needs the harmony. Yeah, it's not about the outside or my surroundings. It's truly the inside. And at the same time, I need to look inside if I want to harmonize more of my outside. So anyway, great reading. When we had the first decan, Mars in Aries, it was about dominion. Yeah, that was the key word, and that made sense with everything around it. Virtue, yeah. I mean, we understand the word, but I was like, okay, but how do you put that? Yeah. When you get that in a reading, I never really thought about it like that, but this word made me think about it. So I did a little divination kind of oh my god, the divination of this word, you know, by the Oxford Dictionary. And then I had two questions, because again it was then sun related, right? So I asked, yeah, where is virtue shining within me? And then I got a very beautiful card. I got the Divine Feminine, and I got it with the Six of Cups. That was a beautiful reading, you know. These two, I don't know, something happened there, yeah. It really was a beautiful thing to see. You can, of course, fill that in however you want. It had a certain meaning, of course, for me. What I also asked was, well, the other side, right? Where does virtue still need to blossom within me? And again, I got a beautiful answer. It was the Student with the Four of Cups. So for me, it was a little bit like, well, that never stops, right? It might shine brighter in one place at a certain time, yeah, but going after a quality like virtue, yeah, is a never-ending pursuit in that sense, I think. So again, these cards were a beautiful thing. I really like that. So that was really small. It was just two questions, but yeah, I put it in here. And I took a quote: true virtue is knowing the self, not by intellectual knowledge, but by pure silence. Which again was about the introspection, right? The Hermit. This is why I really like that quote. Here I didn't do nothing yet. Still have no clue what I'm gonna do. I might just do something, but yeah, I was having a small collage. I thought I might fill in something here. Don't know it yet. Excuse me. I did dive deeper into the planetary dignities. So first I did a very basic breakdown, right? A planet's domicile or home position, a planet in detriment or exile, exalted or exaltation of planets, and the fall or astrological fall. What that means a little bit. I then put them by the signs of the zodiac. After I did this, I did another one too later on, because I found when I did this one, I went into each planet. So the sun, where it's its domicile, where is its detriment, where it's exalted, and where is the fall. And what that means or why they are there, which gave me a little bit more clarity, right? But by doing that, if I look at the sun, here I have that, but when I do it here, I needed to do it different again, because then I need to search for my sun symbol. So the sun is exalted in Aries. Then it's in domicile in Leo. It's in fall in Libra. and in detriment in Aquarius, which is not the end of the world, but you need to look, right? So this was nice. Here I got a little bit more insight by doing it per planet, so to speak, right? Really going a little bit deeper. Yeah, here, for example, when the sun is in detriment, it's in detriment in Aquarius. So it gave a little blurb about why, and it made sense then to me, because the sun is less comfortable here because Aquarius cares about the collective. Okay, I can understand that, because while the sun is about the self more, so if Aquarius is more about everybody else, then that might, well, clash in that sense, right? So these little blurbs really made me get a little bit of a deeper understanding. I then also did a wheel again and put them in different colors. Yeah, the exalted one, yeah, are in the second. Yeah, and then the detriment and the fall are both, yeah, in the other one. And I did the decans again around it. I have here the planets and the zodiacs. So it gave again a little bit of a different schematic. And then here, where I went in this one per zodiac sign, and I did do the decans as well here. Here I really just made it simple, yeah. So per planet, the way a little bit I described it. Oh yeah, here in words. I put it here again, you know, for a quick visual. So the sun, domicile Leo, exalted Aries, detriment Aquarius, fall Libra. And then again, I did that with all the planets. Then when we were in the second decan of Aries, yeah, we had a full moon in Libra. And because I didn't really go deep in Libra yet, I just did a little blurb, you know, about, well, the basics maybe of the Libra symbolism then, or energies. And then again, I did a reading. Let me see, was that? Yeah, that was these cards. So yeah, here. So the first question was, what should be my focus during this full moon in Libra? And I got the card Daring. I asked for the heart of the matter of this at this time, and it was kind of funny because I got the Fool, which really for me corresponded to each other. What I needed to release, yeah, was the King of Spears, which again made sense. And what perspective do I need to shift was the Page of Wands. And then I asked just a small message from the ancestors, yeah, and I couldn't get a better one, Resilience. Oh, excuse me. That was a beautiful card to get. So yeah, that was my full moon reading, but yeah, that was about Libra. So I dove in a little bit about, okay, what the full moon in Libra was about, you know. It was actually called the full pink moon in Libra. And I thought, I don't know, but the pink kind of made me think about, well, maybe Venus, because that color is like an orangey pink, right? Anyway, I looked at what it was. There was an understanding with the sun in opposite of the full moon, but here I really got a better understanding. So I did drew just the zodiac planets and decans, you know, to really visualize that it wasn't 16 degrees full moon, which was in direct opposite of the sun. So if the sun was in the second decan where we were in of Aries, that means that it was also in the second decan, yeah, of Libra. So this was just a very small thing to help me explain to myself, you know, how that works. And again, I made a little visual about it. And then we were already, well, up to date in that sense, because we are now in the third decan of Aries, you know, Venus in Aries. I did the same thing. I already wrote about Aries. We were still in Thoth at this moment. The date changed, the card here changed. And this was an interesting one. This was interesting to me. I felt connected and disconnected at the same time, but yeah, I will come to that. So I did write about Venus, of course, and the Empress card, because that is the Venus card. I wrote about the Four of Wands, and while I was doing that, I kind of got an epiphany because I was also writing about the symbol of Venus, and yeah, well, here you see it. It reminded me of the Ankh. I did write also about, well, specifically Venus in Aries, because again, it was in detriment. So I'm learning about the planetary dignities, you know. I made, again, a little visual, because in the first decan, yeah, we have the ruling planet, so it's in domicile. Then it was exalted with the sun, and now it's in detriment with Venus. I don't know if that's always like this, because I just started, but I want to see that, because we actually have this energy going down, right? In the sense of it's in domicile, so the best place it can be, it's home, yeah. Exalted is like, well, your BFF's house, right, where you feel right at home, but it's not your home. And then in detriment, right, we don't feel really comfortable here, so it's this downwards thing, right? And I don't know if that always happens, so I'm interested. So this is why I wrote a little bit of that. But yeah, like I said, when I was here writing, I had this epiphany, yeah, because I saw this pattern, right, before I will go here. So we already had the Emperor, yeah. Now we have the Empress, yeah, which makes that perfect combination, right? And it leads to completion, yeah. And again, with that Venus being like the Ankh, yeah. Let me put them here, sorry. It really got me thinking, because for some, not for all, for some, the Ankh is all about femininity, yeah. The way I've been taught, and I like that way, is the upper part of the Ankh is like the womb, yeah, or some even say, yeah, the female genitalium. The downward part, yeah, is the divine masculines, well, his genitalium, yeah. And then these are like the divine branches, yeah, which is the child, the children, the child, yeah, because these two combined make this, yeah. So it's almost like the divine trilogy, right? What we see in Christianity even, right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, yeah. Because this too is the cross without, well, the female part in this sense, right? So if this is like, this is the complete picture, yeah, this is the womb of mankind and eternal life. So again, we have the divine feminine, we have the divine masculine, yeah, and with that we get completion. So this actually feels very balanced, yeah. And this is where I'm gonna go off book, right? Because if in astrology this is not a balanced feeling, yeah, if it's in detriment, that should mean, okay, let me read what I wrote about Venus in detriment. So Scorpio and Aries, yeah. Scorpio can be too deep and calculating for Venus, and Aries can be too forthright or assertive for it. So even though, again, this is just a blurb, right? However, in the cards or in the structure of this completion, right, it doesn't feel like that. So this is where my I felt really connected, and then when I was going deeper, I felt really disconnected, because where it says it's in detriment, and well, okay, they're not the best of friends, so to speak, right? It actually feels like almost a perfection, yeah. This is why it was interesting, because even though I've been now drawing the symbol of Venus, yeah, for 100 times, in this one, when I was drawing it, I was actually making that connection, yeah, to the Ankh. And where this is also used, the symbol of Venus as the symbology of women, right? Like Mars is to man. Some mistake that the Ankh, yeah, is the same, and it's not, yeah. It's a symbol of life. And how do we get life? Yeah, we get life, yeah, from what the woman with the man creates. You cannot get life without it. But that's a balance, right? So again, how is it in detriment? How is it not feeling at all? Again, like I said, you know, I was thinking, well, maybe because, well, this is the female Venus, if we really look at it, looking at it like very basic, yeah, and that's the male. So female, male, even though they might complete each other, yeah, they are not the same. They are opposites in that sense, right? Yeah, that's how far I could come. I will probably continue my thoughts until we jump to another decan, you know. But yeah, this is what's keeping my brain busy at the moment. I want to get that connection, you know, because while I understand it, like I said here, I'm getting that disconnection, like what's what. Okay, anyway, yeah, that was that. I did do a reading, and then again, I was a little bit disconnected. I don't know, yesterday, my nose and my allergies were also annoying. But even though I got my reading, there was no immediate, it was not vibrating. All these other readings I showed you, they were actually vibrating, you know? There was energy coming off of them. Of me also understanding, yeah, of making that connection, getting it, you know, having that light bulb moment. And even though I got this reading, yeah, it was not buzzing. So for the first question, this is why I ended with 3. You saw I did more multiple cards and multiple questions. I did 3, and then I kind of was like, it's okay, you know, because I'm not feeling it, so I will probably go back again. So I just did a very basic one then. Which aspect of Venus should I tap into? And I got nurture, which is fabulous, because for me, yeah, nurture is one of my keywords for the Empress, yeah. When you talk about love and understanding and all that the Empress brings, yeah, if you all combine that in one word, it would be for me the nurture, right? So that was a great card to get, yeah. Now, how can I nurture myself? I got the Daughter of Cups, yeah, which again was understandable, but even though the understanding was there, like I said, I didn't have that energetic buzz. Maybe because of me, because I'm not feeling 100%. And then, because we talk about completion here, yeah, what is still needed for completion to really become a reality for me, right? And I got the Ace of Coins. And again, on that basic level, there was an understanding, and yet I was not really, well, clicking with it. So after the 3, I kind of let it be, you know. I will come back to it. I will probably do another reading for this one. So yeah, this was actually it for now. I'm mixing up my cards here. Further than this, yeah, I didn't get yet. I probably will. But yeah, as you see, I will do the planets or the signs in a moment. And then again, when I feel like a new subject pops up and I want to go deeper into it, you know, I am. Which I probably will do in the 3rd one too. You never know. But yeah, this is what I've done so far, and yeah, like you can see, I'm collaging in it. Sometimes I'm just writing. I let this be whatever it is. I'm not stopping myself. I can be a little bit, yeah, what's the word? sometimes I can be too strict, you know, especially in a book like this, because, well, you cannot change the pages, right? But I put it in my mind, you know, like I'm just going with the flow, right? I will take on what I will take on in this moment, because we're now at the third. Well, hopefully I might fill 2 or 3 or more pages. But yeah, I want to go with that, because here Aries started, yeah, and well, this is all about Aries, you know, and then we will go into Taurus. So again, but yeah, I was interested in Aries because it's my rising. Yeah, I will be interested in Taurus because it's my moon. Yeah, I want to dive deeper into these. Not that I'm not interested in the rest. I of course am, but with these I have this interest, right? I have a personal interest. So yes, so yeah, this is it till now. I love it. It's something I don't need to push myself for. I think Candy of Candy Soul and Soil, sorry, said it in her latest March Happies, I think it was. She talked about how these 10 days that the decans have, you know, that it's a great time spent for the study. And I agree with her. I had the same thoughts. These 10 days are great, because I didn't feel like it the first day of the third decan of Aries, but that's okay, you know. I can start day 3 or 4, because again, I wasn't feeling 100%. Yesterday, I really went into it, you know, as you can see. I did the deep dive, but then I was again disconnected, so I let it be. And whether that's today or tomorrow, you know, before we finish this, I will pick it up again. Because those 10 days really give us the time to, well, dive a little bit deeper, right? We're not in a rush in that sense. So yeah, this I 100% agreed with her on how she put it. And I feel the same way. But yeah, I think that was it for the update on the Decan Walk, you know. If you have, if you're watching and you are actually an astrologer, I'm apologizing because I'm not. If you have any subjects that you're like, oh, you should look into this, you know, please feel free to send them to me in the comments. That would really be helpful. Because like I said, I think in my first video about the Decan Walk, I really went into this because I wanted to learn more about astrology. I wanted to dive deeper, but to get that starting point was always very, very difficult, you know. And the Decan Walk became that, but it's not where I want to finish, you know. So if you have like topics, just drop them in the comments, please. So I can go about them, you know. Anyway, yeah, like I said, this is it. Don't got anything else for now. I said that I would do a walkthrough about another deck, which I probably will. But again, I wasn't feeling 100% lately. But yeah, I will get to it. I want to thank you all for watching again. These videos, I'm not going to say I'm going to do them every deck, or maybe I do, you never know. But yeah, I love the work, and I also, well, love to show off what I learned, you know, because for me, again, this is really a new journey, and I'm enjoying it. Again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon with my new video. Please like and subscribe. I hate saying it, but apparently it works, yeah, for the algorithm or something, whatever that might mean. But it helps grow the channel. So I want to thank you again. I hope you have a blessed weekend, and to see you all soon again. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.